The Love Boat will continue in a moment.
Word Balloon is brought to you by the League of Word Balloon Listeners.
I feel like when I come up with some rough sketches on something, I feel like my brain is thinking through all these potential problems and solutions during that initial sketch process that another person, even though they might own the property you're working with, they're not going to have factored all those things.
If you're here at Word Balloon, it's because you like comics, creators, conversation, pop culture subjects. Would you consider joining the League of Word Balloon Listeners? Patreon.com/wordballoon. For just $3 a month or more, you'll get exclusive access to the Word Balloon e-magazine, featuring transcriptions of some of my best conversations. When you subscribe, you'll also be part of the Word Balloon Book Club, where Brian Michael Bendis and I will pick a comic every month to review and discuss live with the League on this show. Join the League today, patreon.com/wordballoon. Thank you always for your support, League of Word Balloon listeners.
Familiar and new. Come aboard. We are rewatching you. It's love from a simpler time. Let it flow. Please, let's not capsize. Lots of big stars and comedic scenes. A love boat. Drama that may need some Dramamine. A love boat. Love is exciting and new. A love boat. All right, let me break it down for you.
Welcome back, everybody. Actually, we're here for a brand new podcast here on the Word Balloon Network, Emotion Sickness, a Love Boat Rewatch podcast. Welcome. We are your crew, co-captains, if you will, John Suntress, Franco, and I'm very excited, Francis. We were talking the origin of this show. I was driving to visit my friends one night, and I don't know how we got on the subject of the Love Boat, but we did, and started talking about how fun and silly it is. And you're like, we got to do a rewatch show of that. And I'm like, that's a great idea. We should totally do a rewatch show of this.
This is a perfect example of all ideas are not good ones. And you shouldn't follow through with all of them, I think.
No.
But we're going to do it anyway.
Exactly.
We're going to do it anyway. We're going to have... No, I mean, the idea was interesting because we just started talking about it. And then I'm like, that's a show that you have so many stars on. I'm an old TV junkie. You're an old movie junkie, and this just brings all of those stars in. And there were like, to my knowledge, I think there were like 700 episodes of The Love Boat altogether, I think.
249, 9 seasons.
Of the regular series, so that doesn't even include the movies, basically.
Yeah, and actually there is a season 10 with TV movies. I wasn't able to find them. And much like when we do Scene Missing here on Word Balloon, we want you to be able to watch the episodes, and eventually, I think what we're going to do is we're going to pre-record the episodes, but maybe at the end of each season, we'll do a live show and we'll have live chat, and people can go back and go, I loved when Louis Nye was trying to date Ruth Buzzy or whatever the people were. But, there's because there really is so much to get through. But yeah, as you know, Franco, because we've been investigating the history of the Love Boat, it didn't just immediately get greenlit. They did a couple TV movies, and they got it wrong 2 times.
So bad.
Oh man, if Art Balthazar were here, it'd be break out the hammers and start smashing your toes because these are painful to watch. We're kind of doing you a favor doing this, and it was really hard to find.
You don't have to watch. You don't have to watch it.
No. But they really didn't get everybody together, as we'll see as we go through these 2 pilot movies, until the 3rd pilot movie when Gavin MacLeod and Lauren Tews finally joined. But again, we'll go through these first 2 movies. But we should start with the very first one, which is here, The Love Boat, an ABC Friday night movie. I looked online, and there was a Dean Martin celebrity roast opposite this on NBC. And CBS had a James Caan movie of the week.
So that's why this tanked in the ratings then. Yeah. And remember, back when they showed this, there were only 3 channels, 3 primetime networks available.
Yep.
Showing stuff. So this came in dead last, I believe.
It might have. It certainly got royally panned. All the critiques, which is horrible. But well, let's go through, because really, again. By the way, the producer was at the time Douglas Kramer, who was kind of like the overall supervising producer of Paramount. You'll see his name on credits on Wonder Woman, Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, shows like this. And he had the initial idea. It was based on, do I have the crew picture? You sent it to, here it is. Okay. So here is your first crew, and you don't recognize anybody, because nobody from the TV show is in this. But the guy at the bottom left, the black gentleman, next to him is Geraldine Saunders. And Geraldine Saunders wrote the book, The Love Boats, which she had written. And it was kind of this tell-all, like, sex story book, because she was the first, in real life, the first female cruise director. And you got to realize at the time, cruising it had been happening forever, obviously predating planes travel and things like that. But by this time, in the early 70s, it really was a lot of old people, and it was a lot of swingers looking for action. And that was
I didn't even know it was based on a book till you told me. I was like, well, first of all, I had no idea that these movies existed, because I thought it was just a straight to pilot thing. So I didn't know these movies existed, and there were 3 before the series actually started. Yeah. So that was a shock to me. And then you told me about the book, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is based on a book. So this is getting better and better as we go. And and we're covering the first 2 movies here, and you don't have to watch them.
No, don't worry, we got you covered. And also, it's the differences though are interesting. Now you can find the first pilot if you're curious and want to suffer through almost 2 hours without commercials. It's interesting to compare it to the show, because it's also it is kind of sexier, or tries to be, in a very early or mid 70s.
Yeah, there were a couple of lines where I was like, whoa, they really, this is like, mid 70s. I'm like, wow, they put that on TV. But then you think about a prime time, nighttime adult, quote unquote, entertainment for a prime time network, or a major network. So I was like, okay, maybe.
And we'll get to these storylines, but here, this is a great. It almost looks like Jack Davis, the old Mad Magazine artist. I don't know who drew this for the ad.
No idea. Yeah,
but you can see some of the eventual stars of quote unquote stars of this episode. First of all, we have a totally different captain, ladies and gentlemen. Your captain, Ted Hamilton. And playing essentially Jerry Saunders, it's Terry O'Mara as Jerry, our cruise director, our first cruise director. And then it gets even weirder. And
never heard of those 2 guys before or after. I'm sure they did some television stuff, but I really had no idea who these 2 were. Like, I don't know who you're going to put up next, or were you going to talk about Isaac next? Because if you talk about Isaac, I want to say him. I know from other shows. I had seen him in other shows.
Well, Ted Hamilton, among his credits, he's in the bomb of a movie, the pirate movie, and he's the pirate king. They also have him listed in shows like Mission Impossible and $6 Million Man. And he was an Australian actor.
Right.
And let's see. Let's get what's her face? Terry O'Mara as Jerry Landers. So Terry was known for, she is in the Barbara Streisand, Burt Reynolds movie Up the Sandbox. And wow, she is in, she's crew. I don't know where her credit is, but she's listed as crew in the music video Excuse Me, I Love You by Ariana Grande, ladies and gentlemen.
Ariana Grande.
But she has gone behind the scenes after her star-studded appearance as...
but as far as, when you're watching some of these old shows, the familiarity of some of these characters, like, the guy that played Isaac, I've seen him in Good Times. I've seen him in a couple of other shows. So, like, recognizable enough where I'm like, oh, I know that guy, it's ironic. This is Theodore Wilson, everybody, your bartender, and he is called Isaac in the show. He was on a show with Clifton Davis before Amen, and it was called That's My Mama from the early 70s. And he was Clifton Davis's best friend on the show. And ironically, our own recognizable Isaac, the great Ted Lange, was also on That's My Mama with Theodore Wilson and Clifton Davis. So it's kind of weird that they both were on That's My Mama. And that was before this Love Boat pilot. They should have done a new pilot called The Two Isaacs and had that as a TV show.
Sure.
Both of those guys.
Sure. But yeah, and of course I love our first gopher, ladies and gentlemen, the very forgettable Sandy Helberg as your yeoman purser. And look at him. He looks like a terrorist. He looks like he's gonna bomb the ship.
He looks like a human mole person. He shouldn't be on the sea. He should be underground somewhere.
And who can
he also had a very nasally way of talking. Like, hey, I'm Gopher.
Yeah. Seriously, I don't know who did the initial casting, but it's like, these are not likable people. This, much like the NBC murder mysteries of that same era, this was kind of a new way of doing anthology shows. Anthology shows go back to radio and the beginnings of television. But essentially, as we know from the Love Boat format, all right, we're going to look at the different passengers and their individual stories. But you've got the constant is the crew, and you want them to be likable.
But the crew here with this first movie, it's almost like they're the background characters. So, like, they're very secondary. They're not involved in a lot of the stories, and nothing important happens with them in any of the scenes. It was weird. It was very weird that you're casting it and you're showing them as the leads of the show, but you have all the guest stars that overtake them. You have that in every episode. The guest stars are the top billing, but you have the crew involved, and in this movie they really weren't.
Sandy Helberg, our first gopher, was also in Spaceballs.
I remember him in Spaceballs.
Dr. Schlotkin in Spaceballs. Mm-hmm. He's Officer Clark in the Hollywood Knights, the Robert Wool, Fran Drescher, very weird but funny 1980 crazy comedy. And he's in School for Scoundrels. And are you kidding me? Wow. How about this for all you nerds? He directed the first Mortal Kombat movie.
There you go.
Well, occasionally the actors end up being producers and directors. So that's what happened to our first gopher. After failing as a terrorist, after blowing up the Love Boat, he went on to bigger and better things. So, but this cast, man, and these stories, man.
And the steward, Nino, Joseph Sakari.
I had credits for him. Hold on a second, I'll grab them.
Yeah, real bad Italian accent going on there.
You should know
about this, because I have a good Italian accent, so his was pretty abysmal there.
He is in Kicking and Screaming, the Will Ferrell movie where he's coaching the team, and Ditka's in that movie, and he's Umberto. He's in The Benchwarmers as hot dog vendor. And he's in a Rebel Wilson movie called Isn't It Romantic from 2019. And he's part of the crew for the Disney animated Hercules movie.
Oh, I'm so glad he did well. after this.
Yeah, they are. So there is your Love Boat crew. Now your Love Boat passenger.
No, wait, before you get to the
shame on me. Yes,
yeah.
I forgot.
You got the lounge singers, basically.
Yes, you're right. And I do I have that? Yes. So here, so we got Richard Stahl and Catherine Ish or Aish. And they're in the lounge. Obviously, a very culturally insensitive costume, given because they're two white people.
Not only culturally insensitive, but also willing to kill passengers on a whim, apparently, which we'll get to. But
yes, we'll get to that in the story. And I forgot to mention the original Doctor, ladies and gentlemen, Dick Van Patten.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great because he's the same kind of horn dog that Bernie Capel plays later in the TV show, but it's
much creepier, right? Much creepier.
Hey, how are you? Want to come back to my cabin?
Yeah.
Let me give you a rub down.
Right.
He actually offers to give I want to say Florence Henderson a rub down in the show.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But Richard Stahl, the lounge singer, he's been in everything. He's been like in movies and TV. He's one of those faces where you're like, oh, I remember. I don't know who he is, but I recognize him. I've seen him in this. I've seen him in that. Yep.
He's in several really good Odd Couple episodes and really, really funny in like one-shot character parts. And he's in The Flamingo Kid with Matt Dillon and Richard Crenna. He's one of the rich guys at their little resort that they all hang out in and everything. No, he's great. I'm a big fan of his. And he's again kind of wasted in this movie, but he's there, and we'll talk about their characters shortly. But we got to point out as we get into the passengers now, ladies and gentlemen, shirtless for your approval, Gabe Kaplan from Mr. Qatar, making time with his storyline. There's this model on the ship, and by the way, yes, her name is not Bianca, it's Banaka.
Like the blast, the squirt thing that you put in your mouth.
Yeah. Banaka, I love you.
Banaka.
She's doing like a big, model shoot on the boat. Sometimes she's in bathing suits, sometimes she's in other sexy clothes, and he immediately falls in love with her. And he's an insurance salesman that's there on a seminar. Another guy that's in the movie, totally throwaway. I don't have a photo of him. Harvey Korman
as his boss, or I guess boss, kind of
boss
the insurance company.
Yeah, boss and friend. But they're sharing a cabin, and he's like, "Hey, get out of here! I got a shot at Bianca, Banaka. I gotta do her in here." So essentially, that's what he tells him. But and the other weird thing, and I'm glad they changed it as the show progressed, but every story would be told almost complete. Right. And then you move on to the next.
That was weird, right? Even for an anthology type show, it was weird. Yeah. Is it because we were just so ingrained in watching the Love Boat episodes where they kind of intertwine everything? This one, each story was complete. So like Gabriel Kaplan, you saw him for the first half hour of the thing, not even, and then he's gone. You don't see him for the rest of the crew.
Nope.
Yeah, his story was over, and it ended weird too, because like he's chasing this girl, and at one point he decides, hey, to get her attention, I'm going to threaten to kill myself by throwing myself overboard. And he hops up on the railing, and he's sitting on the edge of the railing, about to dive off, and he's like, unless you come back to my room, I'm gonna, kill myself, basically. So I thought that was a weird choice as well.
Well, and then the weird twist, and we'll spoil, so you don't have to worry about watching this. Mm-hmm. But you see them in bed, and he's, oh, Banaka, I finally got you here. And then he's like, all I ever hear you say is, oh, that's fantastic, or something in a very sexy voice. And she's like, well, now I can be my real self to you. Oh, I feel I can open myself up. You like me for me. And I can start eating chocolate again. I break out with chocolate and my skin gets really lumpy. And his face just is in sheer panic because this like noon whistle voice is going to haunt him for the rest of his days if he stays with this woman. And literally it ends with him running away from her after they get back.
Right. Yeah. You see him at the very end where like the passengers are, departing. And he comes running off, and she's chasing, where you going, Carter? Mr. Carter, where you going? And I was like, this is so weird.
Well, it's the humor isn't funny, and then they have these weird stories. Okay, so another couple that we have Don Adams and Florence Henderson. So Get Smart is trying to hook up, or already is married to Mrs. Brady,
Right.
and they're like in their mid-30s. Okay, sure they are.
Yeah.
You know,
You want to be
and,
pushing that to like mid-40s, maybe.
he's got a girlfriend on the side. They're on a ship together, and they are married, but clearly they're having marital problems.
So this is the inherent problem with the storyline. So he decides that he's going to bring his wife on a cruise. So in a very packed dining room, so that she won't make a scene, he's going to tell her he's cheating on her and wants a divorce. So he thought this was a good idea. Why are we spending all this money on a cruise if you're going to do that? But that's what he decides to do. And then it takes a really weird turn.
Go on.
They decide to start trying to kill each other, like by poisoning each other and shooting each other. It's like drowning her.
Well, is she trying to kill him as well?
At the end, I think she thinks about it and she's like, oh, he's trying to kill me.
Right.
So she thinks about it, but she doesn't really act on it more than he is. Yeah.
Well, first he's going to put poison in her drink, and Giuseppe over here, our Joe, our steward, yeah, takes the drink away and is like going to try and drink. Well, first of all, Don Adams like, here, you drink this. No, you drink this. And it's like a little too obvious and everything. So she suspects something. She's like, I don't want your drink. Get away from me. Yeah. Then he takes it and he thinks he sees the waiter like sip the drink. And so he chases him down because he knows he's going to poison him if he doesn't act fast. And the waiter's all sprawled out on the floor. And of course, the doctor is there.
The doctor,
and he thinks he's drunk the poison, but no, he fell and sprained his ankle.
Yeah, Don Adams, Maxwell Smart is like, well, shouldn't you pump his stomach or something? And he goes, yeah, people with broken ankles don't really like that.
And also, Don Adams is literally, all he could do is portray Maxwell Smart, because all the Maxwell Smart ticks are, yes, well, you see. I mean, all that was missing was would you believe? But he really, all he could do is be Get Smart.
In terms of casting, like when someone's putting this together, they're thinking, oh, Maxwell Smart and Mrs. Brady, they'll make a good pair. They really don't. They don't make a good pair.
Horrible.
Yeah, the casting on this was like all off on it. I couldn't see these two together. But you know what? Mrs. Brady, she showed a very sexy side of herself in this.
All right, so okay, and then of course back to our entertainment. So they got this weird magic act, and Richard Stahl has a gun, and he shoots cigarettes out of the lady's mouth. His partner's
mouth. Yeah,
and
he holds up a mirror and does it backwards. So he shoots this way, and she's got a matchstick, and he's going to light the matchstick with the bullet. Yeah.
Yes, and then as kind of a gag final joke in the act, if he notices somebody not paying attention to the act, he's like, hey, what are you doing? How come you're not paying attention to me? And he holds the gun up like he's going to shoot the person, but the gun actually has blanks. So everything's fine. Well, Don Adams sees that, and Isaac tells him, oh, God, this guy does this act 6 times a day. I'm so sick of this, whatever. And Don's like, okay, that's how I'm going to murder Florence Henderson. So he gets into the act's cabin, switches out the bullet for what he thinks are regular bullets, and gets the gun loaded, and he brings Florence to the next show, and they're talking. And as they're talking, he realizes, oh, maybe there's another chance for them to get back together. So
only because she says, hey, I realized you put a lot of work into the business, so I'm not going to take any of your money from the business. And he's like, oh, wait, you're going to leave me all the money? Okay, now I don't want to kill you.
Yeah, now all of a sudden I'm in love with you again.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
I don't think he was in love with her, but he's like, oh, wait, you're going to leave me the money? So, okay, I won't kill you. Yeah.
But then, the guy's getting ready because Florence's back is to the act. So he's like, hey, lady, you're not paying attention to me? Let me show you what I think of you. And Don throws himself in front of Florence to take the bullet.
In front of the bullet, yeah.
And it looks like he does get shot. It's like a blood thing, but it's like a squib, like in movies and stuff when they fake a gunshot. And he's like, "Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I do have my second set of bullets, but they have these squibs when I shoot at the wall, so it makes it look like a big."
You don't think I bring real bullets onto a boat, do you?
Exactly.
So he goes, so then Don Adams is like, wait a minute, I'm very confused. How did you actually do the trick with the match? And then he shows him, like, he does it with his finger, bang, and the thing lights up. And Don Adams goes, oh, trick matches. Like, did you think he was shooting real bullets at his wife, who was his partner in the lounge act? Like, I don't understand.
In the words of John Travolta, it's so weird.
It's so weird.
Then at the end, though, I guess they do try to get back together. And Florence takes off her negligee.
Yeah.
And we only see shoulders, but it's like, guess who's naked right now?
Yeah.
Mrs. Brady. What are you doing, Mrs. Brady?
And Don Adams like, would you believe? Yeah. It was weird. It was
exactly.
It was a very weird story.
Now I'm going to have sex with you.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Tennessee tuxedo, getting down with Mrs. Brady. Who the hell knew? So, yeah, that's weird. And is there... Oh, yes, of course. Shame on me. The other big story is Karen Valentine and Barney Miller himself, Hal Linden.
Hal Linden, yeah.
In a May-December romance. Or I should say May-February of the following year romance. Not even December.
Yeah.
Because he's like easily 20 years older than her. And she even tells Jerry, the cruise director, oh, I like older men. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. But she's holding a very deep and dark secret. Yeah. And she's a little afraid of getting too close to Hal Linden.
Yeah. But that was like a weird choice with things too. And also the other thing was there was a little kid running around the boat too, causing all sorts of trouble, right?
Did you recognize that little kid?
I did immediately. Not immediately. I don't want to say that, but I'm like, where do I know this kid from? Where do I know this kid from? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. He was on Soap. It took me like a couple of minutes to realize that, oh, that's the kid from Soap. I remember him.
That's Scott Baio's younger brother, Jimmy Baio.
I think it's his cousin.
Oh, it's Scott. I thought it was his brother. Okay,
it's his cousin. He's got a Chachi connection.
Yes, Chachi family. But also he was in Bad News Bears Breaking Training, the second Bad News Bears movie, when they go to the Astrodome to play, and he's the other good player on the team. He's the pitcher,
right?
You remember? But he is running around. He's a pest of a kid, and he's got a mom on the boat, and he's got a pea shooter. And he knocks on people's doors and he shoots them with the pea. He hits Harvey Korman with one. But here, as you can see, Karen Valentine apparently by day is a school teacher.
Yeah.
And grabs him before she's getting. Franco can relate to this. Grabs him before he's gonna hit her with the spitball. And
puts him in a headlock. Yeah.
Puts him in. Look at that headlock, everybody. This is back in the 70s when strangers could manhandle children and not get arrested for it.
That's right. And her excuse is like later on they ask her about it. She goes, "Oh, I'm a school teacher. I deal with this kind of stuff." I'm like, "That's what you do in your classroom?" Even in the 70s, I don't know if that was really allowed.
Dear Miss Valentine, you wrenched my child's neck. He's now in a neck brace because of the headlock you put him in. It's crazy. Well, the dark secret. So she's starting to get close to Hal, but she kind of stiff arms him, and the reason why, and this is so 70s, she is pregnant. And she's not showing yet. And apparently her former boyfriend was married, didn't know it when they got down.
And she thought about an abortion. This was like mid-70s, and they said abortion in prime time.
But in the words of, I think, Papa Don't Preach, she's made up her mind. She's keeping her baby, I believe. Mm-hmm. And, and she doesn't want to burden Hal with Barney Miller with, hey, you got to run the 12th precinct. I can't burden you with a child that isn't your own. And he's a big businessman, work. But he meets Karen Valentine, and he's starting to get attracted to her. And he's like, I don't care. I want to be with you.
Yeah.
So they have a happy end.
And the fact that he's a confirmed bachelor, hasn't had any real relationships, and then he winds up falling in love with this woman, finds out she's pregnant, doesn't care, wants to marry her anyway, and marries her on the ship before they dock in what this was like a week cruise or whatever to
pretty fast
to Mexico. So it's a quick whirlwind romance there,
and they wind up together, and that's fine. So they run off happily ever after. I nothing ever happens to Harvey Korman's character other than being an obstacle for Gabe Kaplan getting down with Banaka.
Yeah, he was just a throwaway character that's on for and then he meets that woman who was trying to hook up with everybody on the ship. Like she talked to Gabriel Kaplan, Mr. Carter, and then she talked to a couple other people before settling on. Because she also came back in the Tom Bosley story with the.
Thank you. I knew I forgot a story. Because yes. So Tom Bosley and Cloris Leachman are a husband and wife, and their daughter is with them on the cruise. And they're being introduced to her prospective fiance.
Right, because they
And
want to
Tom
marry
Bosley-
her off to a rich person. Yeah.
Well, he thinks, hey, I think she's out. I think this guy's after our family money because I'm a big, rich guy from Muncie, Indiana. Sure he is.
That's right. Did you recognize the daughter? What was her name? Juanita.
Lauren Sprang. I did. Do you know where she's from?
She's from Battlestar Galactica. I recognized her right away.
Yep. Cassiopeia, one of Starbucks' girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yep.
The facilitator, which is sci-fi for hooker. That's what she was. Because everyone's like, I can't believe you're consorting with that facilitator. And it's like, I think I know what that means, even back in 1978.
Well, she helps things along. So, yeah. I got it.
I didn't recognize Cloris Leachman for a good portion of the episode, but she's Tom Bosley's wife.
Right. Well, she was wearing some like red wig, like big wig, so I didn't recognize. Well, obviously in the credits, but I'm like, oh yeah, that is Cloris Leachman. Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't look like Phyllis from Mary Tyler Moore.
So then Tom Bosley, another Chachi connection. So we got the little kid cousin, and then Tom Bosley. Yeah.
Yep. And this is during the run of Happy Days, which, as we will know, moving forward, along with former Hollywood stars or big stars of other things. You'll get character actors from TV shows. This is what I look forward to, because beyond the obvious people that we recognize, it's like, oh yeah, that's the wacky neighbor from that Richard Mulligan, Christy McNichol show, Empty Nest. Yeah, and it's like, like Larry from Three's Company will make several Love Boats as we continue on this series journey that we're going to go on the voyage. We should call these. By the way, we should call our episodes voyages. I was thinking about that.
Sure.
So this is voyage 1 and voyage 2, but eventually we'll get to the actual numbering of the shows. But they think that this guy, a completely faceless guy that you've never seen before and never will before or since. Here, I'll look on the credits and see if we can get any other things. I know his character,
the boyfriend guy.
Yeah, Richard or something.
Yeah, but there was some besides the casual assault that Tom Bosley inflicts upon this Cyrano, fiance guy.
Yeah.
Knocks at his door and punches him in the face when he realizes that maybe he's been, lying about the money he has and stuff like that. But before that, when he wants to go play poker with the guy, he's like, yeah, let's go drink a beer. He goes, I like beer. He goes, yeah, I'm a 2-case man a week myself. Wow, this guy drinks 2 cases of beer a week by himself.
Yep.
Wow.
And he orders champagne for the table at dinner, and it's really expensive champagne. And Bosley's like, how dare he make me pay for this rich stuff? He must not have any of his own money. His name is Rick Carrot, and his other credits include he's in Marathon Man, but his character doesn't have a name. He's Plain Clothesman, so he's a cop in Marathon Man. He's in a couple Rockford File episodes. He's in 1 episode of Love American Style. Ironically, his character name, Chuck Cunningham, ladies and gentlemen.
Another Chachi connection.
That's what happened to Chuck. He went out to Love and American Style after Happy Days. Mm-hmm. And then he plays Corky Schaefer in the Streets of San Francisco, the Carl Malden, Michael Douglas show. So there's your Rick Parrott.
One of the other funny lines that I that stood out to me was when Gabriel Kaplan's looking at Banaka, and he goes up to the cruise director and he goes, "Oh, who's that over there? Oh, that's Banaka. She's a famous model." And the guy on her right is her photographer, and the guy on her left is her mother. that's what she's. So I thought that was funny.
That is a good line,
because the mother was a little bit of a beast there. But
battle axe, exactly. Yeah, brassy. Yeah. So yeah, one good line, everybody. Out of 2 hours. What are you gonna do? So yeah, just horrible. And also here's again that picture of Don Adams and Florence Henderson. How about that jacket on Don? Man, that's like a lousy tablecloth, let alone sport coat. And that hair. Don, this is totally Don in the 70s. I'm not old. In fact, I'm young. And it's like,
I've got a perm. Yeah.
Horrible. Mm-hmm. Horrible.
Because his hair was not really curly. because I remember all those Maxwell Smart episodes, Get Smart and stuff like that.
And also, and it's in the second pilot too, lots of shots of the ship bridge. And you even get there, even the first officer in the first movie has a couple lines here and there and stuff. So again, like it just, I mean, I get why, like as an anthology show, it's a good idea to have a backdrop for a cruise ship. But the pacing of the story was really weird. Story. And again,
the stories themselves were really weird too. Like,
lame.
When he's trying to when Don Adams is trying to kill Florence Henderson and she falls off what he suspects is the railing, but she falls onto the
lower deck
table. Yeah, a lower deck below it. And he's like, oh, good, she's dead, but then the cruise director, I forget her name. She's like,
Jerry.
Yeah, if someone if someone falls off the deck, it's it's a lot of forms that we have to fill out if we lose someone. It's like also, the casual. I understand it's a comedy, but it doesn't come across really as a comedy with some of these. They just fall so flat.
And also her husband's trying to kill her, and she basically offers to seduce him at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
it's like what? Shouldn't he be arrested at the next port?
Because she realizes that he tried to throw her off her balcony. He tried to poison her. He tried to get her shot. Hey, let's get together. Here's my naked body. I'll seduce you now.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So I can appreciate the critics going, what? What?
But that's not the end of it. Somebody thought, hey, let's make a Love Boat 2.
Well, I guess they tried again. So we got Love Boat 2, ladies and gentlemen. Mm-hmm. Still loving. On this cruise, you can't lose. Don't miss the boat on the all-new Love Boat. Eventually, you'll be hearing a lot of Ernie Anderson promos, those wonderful promos that they would do. Now, here's your cast list, everybody. Ken Berry, Bert Convey, Celeste Holm, Old Hollywood, Hope Lange from the new Dick Van Dyke Show, and, of course, The Ghost of Mrs. Muir. More Brady Bunch connection with Robert Reed. Mm-hmm. Peter Gunn himself from the 1950s and 60s, Craig Stevens. And, again, another vet from the Carol Burnett Show, ladies and gentlemen, Lyle Waggoner.
Right.
And, man, go ahead.
It's like they almost made a deal, because that's the, before we get to the crew, that's the guest list, right? And I guess someone decided, hey, the formula from the first one works so well. Let's get the same people. So instead of Mrs. Brady, let's get Mr. Brady, right? And instead of Mr. Cotter, let's get Mrs. Cotter, because she was in here as well.
Marcia Strassman, absolutely. Here, I got a photo of Mrs. Cotter. Julie, I haven't tell you about the cruise I took in the last movie. Don't worry, Gabe, I'm going to this one. But yeah, and also, in fairness, obviously a lot of these people were under contract to Paramount from a television standpoint, right. And it was extra money. They were getting these parts in TV shows, so why not?
Right.
And it
was that's how. Yeah, I understand that's how the connections are made with the guest stars and stuff like that. But I just thought it was funny. It's like, oh, Mr. and Mrs. Brady, Mr. and Mrs. Cotter, Catan.
Separate cruises for both the couples. Exactly. They're not talking to each other anymore.
They should have hooked up instead. Gabriel Kaplan and Florence Henderson. And
well, years from now, when we get to, I want to say season 8 of The Love Boat, Tom Bosley and Marion Ross from Happy Days, Marion and Howard. They don't play Marion and Howard on The Love Boat, but they are a couple, and it's a great episode, and it's so far in the advance, I don't even mind talking about it briefly now. Andy Warhol approaches Marion Ross to do a sexy photo shoot. And, what? You want my wife to be naked in one of your Andy Warhol pictures? Are you nuts? And that's the wacky premise of that episode. So,
and that I love that, I know you brought it up and it's in the future, but I love that you get to be so famous at some point in your life that you're like, hey, I love The Love Boat and I want to be on it. And that's how Andy Warhol wound up on The Love Boat. Prince wound up on New Girl with Zooey Deschanel, because he called up the producers. He goes, I really love the show. I want to be on it. So I want to get to that point. I want to be so famous that I just want to call up the show and say, hey, I want to be on it.
Well, and by the way, everybody, you should really watch, while it's still on Tubi, I forget what cable channel did a behind-the-scenes 2-hour Love Boat, retrospective. And Ted Lange was friends with Aretha Franklin. And she's like, I really want to be on your show. I love your show. And he told the producers, and they're like, yeah, right. Give me a break. It's Aretha Franklin. Are you nuts? He's like, no, really. She was never on the show, and she really wanted to be on the show. And they could have had Aretha Franklin. Oh well.
You wouldn't like that. She would have sang "Who's Zooming Who" in the lounge, and you wouldn't like that at all.
I would have hated that, absolutely. Okay, so they made a couple minor tweaks to they made a lot of tweaks. Whole different crew now. And first of all, we've got Quinn, not Quinn Martin. I forget his name. I'm going to look it up while we're talking.
Redeker.
Yes, very good.
Yes.
Quinn Redeker. So he's our new captain. And we have
okay. So before we move on, let's go back to so what has Captain Redeker done besides be the captain of the Love Boat 2? Because he hasn't really done anything else besides this.
I will tell you in a minute.
I think he was on. No, I can tell you. I think he was on Days of Our Lives for a while, and then, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, this man co-wrote The Deer Hunter.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
wow.
I was like, what? Like, I was looking this guy up. I'm like, what else has he done? Because he's a captain. You got to give him some credit. You know,
sure.
He's steering the ship. He's got the lives of 700 something people on board in his hands. He could steer it right into a whale and kill everybody. But, you know, he's takes his responsibility seriously. But this guy co-wrote The Deer Hunter. And if you don't know what the Deer Hunter is, go watch it. It's an incredible movie with Robert De Niro and Meryl Streep, right?
Yeah, and John, the guy who died, that was Fredo in The Godfather.
Yep.
But yeah, you're right. Goddamn, I'm looking at his credits. He also is in Ordinary People. And in addition to 848 episodes of Days of Our Lives as the villain, Alex Marshall, he was also in The Young and the Restless, and Mannix, and The Virginian, and The $6 Million Man, and Barnaby Jones.
So yeah, look, those are like, you know, one episode things or whatever, and you don't really talk about a soap opera guy in these terms. But then he goes, you know what? I'm just going to co-write one of the best movies ever in the 70s. You know, just
well, that's like the guy from the guy who was the lead in The Land of the Giants, Gary Conway, wrote a couple movies. He wrote the horrible first Best of the Best martial arts movie with Eric Roberts.
Oh yeah.
And he wrote the Sylvester Stallone arm wrestling movie, Over the Top.
Over the Top. Wow. You know, one other thing that stood out to me when I saw this in the credits, it was directed by Hy Averback, I think.
That's right.
And I was like, wait a minute, why do I know that name? He's from MASH. He's one of the directors and developers of MASH.
He is a very accomplished television writer, director. And in fact, here, I'll give you more credits. But this is a guy that goes back to the 1950s. He did The Real McCoys, the Richard Crenna show with Walter Brennan. Yeah, let's see. What else? I mean, and like you said, he did 20 episodes of MASH. Tom Ewell had a TV series for one season, but also made The Girl Can't Help It with Jane Mansfield and 7 Year Itch with Marilyn Monroe, and was a very popular 50s comedian. And he did his show. Yeah. So lots of director credits over the years. Even the 9 to 5 television series, one episode. Oops.
There you go.
But yeah, so again, little better, but not really when you think about it. but not really. And also now we started to get our regulars.
So yeah, you're about to introduce us to the cruise director there.
Yes. Hold on. Where is she?
Sandy.
That's right.
But that's her character name. But what's her real name is Diane.
Diane Stillwell. Yes, indeed. And she actually has a romance in the story. She is being seduced by Bert Cunvey. And
so this time,
was in 1977.
You have one of the crew being directly involved. One of the biggest tragedies of this episode, though, was those bangs that she's got there across. I think.
I'll get back to those bangs. Covering a lot of mistakes. She's probably got some scars on her forehead like Frankenstein or something.
Something's happening up there.
He's cute. I thought she was kind of. And actually, I thought Terry was pretty cute too. Actually, but they don't have they don't have that great personality that Julie.
Well, Terry in the first pilot really kind of rubbed up against the Australian, against the Australian captain. They kind of butted heads,
Yes,
So
I forgot about that. Yes, indeed.
He's like, I'm from a warship. Get out of my presence now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're get out. I mean, you're dismissed. Is that all?
But now we started to get a good portion of the Love Boat crew that we came to know and love. We had Ted Lange come in as Isaac, and we had, of course, Fred Grandy as Gopher, and Bernie Capel as Doc. So we're getting there. It's
the first time he's wearing the shorts. He's wearing the Doc shorts that he's famous for, because Dick Van Patten didn't wear the shorts in the first one. I'm like, why is he not wearing the shorts?
I have bad knees, Nicholas. Leave me alone. But yeah, so Doc, and immediately Doc is, horn dog, trying to horn in on a couple of the passengers here and there and stuff like that. That's great. But then we get into our stories, and among our stories in Love Boat 2, The Passion Continues.
I think you forgot someone else in the crew was.
Oh yes, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Amy. Amy the stand-up.
Right.
Hi, how are you?
Candace Azara, I believe, is her name. Yeah. And I recognized her immediately, too. As soon as she spoke, because she has a very distinct kind of lisp or whatever.
Kind of a street accent. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's Rodney Dangerfield's wife from Easy Money.
Yes. Good call. I forgot about Easy Money. Yes.
I recognized her immediately from that. Yeah.
She's in Catch Me If You Can. She's in a very, very funny Dom DeLuise movie called Fatso. She's very funny in a Barney Miller episode that she did.
Yeah, she's one of those faces that is very distinct, and like the voice and everything, so you recognize her. But I remember her distinctly as Eddie, not Eddie, Rodney Dangerfield's wife from Easy Money. I'm like, oh my god, that's his wife.
Yeah, and she's got that like Brooklyn or New York kind of. Yeah, I know. Yeah. How are you? Yeah, I'm a comedian. I'm funny. And she is, of all people, Ken Berry with a very cheeseball mustache is attracted to her.
Yeah.
But he has a very special problem.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. He's the Hemingway problem. Is that what we call it?
The flag only goes to half mast.
He's very impotent on this cruise. Yeah.
He's a VIP. Indeed. Yes.
But now here's another thing.
Exactly.
Now, here's another thing that bothered me. So like this is a cruise and you're going there to go out, and so these companies, the insurance company from the first one and whatever, he's the psychiatrist convention or whatever from the second movie, they decide that they're going to have the Love Boat. This is where they're going to have their annual meeting or whatever. They can't get a hotel in downtown Seattle. No, they have to get on a cruise. And yeah, who's doing this on cruises? Was this a widespread thing they did in the 70s where they would take their corporate outings on a cruise ship for a week?
Ironically, my sister is an event planner for one of the pharmaceutical companies, and they do have big medical weekends in these exotic places, not on cruise ships. But they go to
I can understand, flying to whatever, because I've heard of people doing those corporate weekends or whatever. Yeah. But they're going on a cruise for a week.
Right.
But they're also working on this, Harvey Korman's got a slideshow with Gabriel Kaplan, and he's showing the slides, and our quarter could be better this year if we did this and that. And I'm like, really? This is what you're doing? Is you're working on this cruise? I thought that was kind of strange, but they carried it over into the second one too.
Well, again, I don't know what the nature of cruise clientele or cruise passengers were. In that behind-the-scenes Love Boat thing, obviously the Love Boat was a big shot in the arm for cruises in the cruise industry anyway.
Oh, right.
And, in fact, as some of the cast members said, the cruise lines had to change a lot of the amenities that weren't included in the travel packages. Like you still had to pay for drinks prior to the Love Boat. And now it's like, well, wait a minute. Nobody ever pays Isaac for his drinks. What are you doing? And they had to, or even organizing more onboard activities. And they didn't, and you see it in these two movies. They play bingo and there's, you learn how to dance and stuff. And now all that stuff is matter of fact, but apparently wasn't really part of the cruise things. And they first kind of resented the Love Boat until they saw the new business that was coming in. And now they're like, yeah, never mind.
And everybody listening or watching us right now, you thought this was going to be boring, but you didn't know about the history lesson that the Love Boat would revolutionize the cruise ship industry. You didn't know that happened.
No, we'll help. We got we got information along with the entertainment, or lack thereof of entertainment.
That's right.
That's why it's called emotion sickness, everybody. So, we forgot to. Well, we can do it at the end of the show. We can award some drama memes for those of us who need extra pills to get through the various storylines that we find a little.
Are we doing them for the first one, or do we want to save them for the end? Let's wait till the end.
Yeah, we can do a laundry list and everything because we're into the second one now. So, all right. So Ken Berry is after Amy the stand-up, Carmen.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Celeste Holm, who old Hollywood, a lot of old movies and stuff, and Broadway as well. Very recognizable face, even on television in her senior years. And she is Marsha.
She won an Oscar, I believe, as well.
Oh, I forgot about that. Tell me.
I think it was for Gentleman's Agreement, maybe.
I will tell you in a minute.
But I can't.
She's in a few amazing movies. Let's find out.
Yes, but I think specifically Oscar winner. I can't, if I remember correctly. But
I'm looking.
I could be the wrong, as I usually am.
She's in on Broadway. She was in the original cast of Oklahoma, and
Oklahoma,
and she's saying, "I'm just a girl who can't say no." So that was a big deal. She made it to 95. Wow, she died in 2012.
Oh, she had a good run.
Yeah. She's in All About Eve. I forgot about that. And she's in High Society with Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra and Grace Kelly.
Yeah,
but All About Eve.
Movies. Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. She's in Gentleman's Agreement.
Mm-hmm.
And did she win the Oscar for that? I don't know. She's
remember.
In with Gregory Peck, of course.
Or as I like to call him, Gregory Peckery. Yeah.
Indeed. I could pretend to be a Jew. No one would think if I use my name is Philip Green. If I go by Phil Green, that sounds Jewish, doesn't it? Great movie, excellent anti-Semitism movie. Truly, again, I mean, it's getting across the message, but it is a little ham-fisted in its presentation by today's standards. But anyway, so she is very upset. She's an old lady. She doesn't think she's pretty anymore. She's really frustrated. And she runs into Peter Gunn himself, ladies and gentlemen. Craig Stevens, there he is, right there. Mm-hmm. Now, I got to be honest, Francis, before I learned about his character, I'm like, what's with Corey Hart's sunglasses at night?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With the sunglasses all the time. I didn't think. Because seriously, this is a big trope in the 70s, presenting actors this way. And he's an old boyfriend of hers. And they he seemingly is on the ship with a very young woman, and in fact they're friends. He's an old combat buddy of Quinn,
the captain.
Quinn.
Yeah,
yeah, and he's on the bridge and he's checking out the boat and everything. But his daughter, sorry, I already tipped it.
Yeah, his daughter,
his girlfriend is on his arm, and so it seems like they're very close and everything. Mm-hmm. And Celeste Holmes recognizes him, and it's like, oh my god, I haven't seen him.
And Celeste Holmes' daughter on the show is Mrs. Kater. That's her daughter,
Marcia Strassman, once again. Mm-hmm. So very lovely. I'm a big fan of hers. Always a lovely woman.
Yeah. But she takes matters into her own hands. She goes and she knocks on that guy's door, and she makes a date for her mom. Very progressive. Very female forward. Yeah.
Prior to that, Celeste bumps into the captain and Craig Stevens on the elevator, and it literally physically bumps into him. And he's like, "Oh, I beg your pardon, madam." And she's like, "Oh my God, he called me madam. He didn't recognize me. My God, am I that old?"
Yeah.
And she is just beside herself, upset. And that's when Mrs. Kater decides to take matters in her own hands and force the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And also he's like, "Yeah, Mom, that young woman, that's his daughter. Relax. Everything's fine. He really wants to see you." Okay, great. So she goes to his cabin. Oh, let's have a drink or whatever.
Yeah.
And She sits down, or he sits down. No, she sits
No,
down.
she sits down, yeah.
He
And he
thinks
goes,
he's still standing opposite her,
hey, why don't you
and he's
take a
talking
seat?
to
Yeah.
an empty space. And that's when she realizes with those glasses, oh, Peter Gunn is
blind. Yeah.
Oh, big tragedy. Because he, in the Navy, had something blow up in his face and he lost his sight, and that's why he had to retire. And it's weird. I was expecting him to say something like, I can see shadows, but I can't make out faces anymore. Because it did look like, for being a blind man.
I get that specific on a cruise ship. You don't need all that information.
Because he was getting around pretty well for a blind guy. Pretty fly for a blind guy, if I may.
Well, he's like Matt Murdock. He's the daredevil of the
radar.
high seas. Yeah, he can tell.
After his accident, he was trained by Stick, much like Elektra and Matt.
Well, what they don't tell you in the backstory is that when he was in the Navy, and what blew up was the sonar room. So, all of that was embedded in him, and now he can tell where things are. So.
Hey, that would make a great Marvel comic. A captain, and he gets hit in the face, but he becomes Shona.
That's right.
You should call him Sammy Shona.
Anyway. Sonar. That's right.
Yes. So, but once they realize that's like a 10-minute solution, resolution. So, oh my God, you're blind. Well, I still love you. Well, I still love you. Let's kiss. And then we're not going to see them again until the end of the movie.
Nope.
They're gone.
Gone.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So then we got.
I should say, in between all these stories, there's a lot of white pants. Everybody's wearing white pants. Like the crew, everybody on the crew except for Doc, who's got short white pants.
He's got the white shorts.
But Ken Berry, Gabriel Kaplan, everybody's wearing white pants. Is that a C thing? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, I do think here's this. By the way, massive, wonderful celebration of leisure suits. On these shows, and look at those lapels. You can
wait till we get to Lyle Wagner. I don't know if you have a picture of him,
okay.
But yeah.
All right, I was going to Christy McNeil.
Yeah, go for that one first. We'll go. Yeah, we'll go.
All right, let's talk about them. So they're sisters,
and another actress from Soap.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Billy's sister, if I remember correct, Corinne.
Mm-hmm.
And there's little Christy McNichol from Family, before Family. And
I had a huge crush on her in the 70s.
Oh, we all did.
Too bad.
And then we found out later that she would have had no interest in us because she's a lesbian lady.
That's true.
Nothing there on that, but you know.
Yeah. Well, disappointing for me because
I understand. Well, she's got a big crush on Gopher.
Uh-huh.
And so much so that she really wants to get to him, including one point. Well, first of all, she goes to Isaac for advice.
That's right.
So, by the way, I do have, ladies and gentlemen, with this scene right here, we could take a quick little interlude for a segment we like to call Isaac Pours.
Go ahead.
So yeah. Why, Isaac, make me a Mai Tai. I know I'm 12 years old, but give me bourbon on the rocks, all right? Because I don't understand why Gopher's not paying attention to me. And
I like that they also decided that Isaac doesn't get a bar in either one of these two, except for in the lounge. Theodore, the other Isaac had an actual bar, but this guy, they're like, oh, let's put him on a cart. So he's at the Lido deck on a cart. He's at the back end of the boat on a cart. Yeah.
Well, again, I refer to this behind the scenes show. Isaac was initially just one of the bartenders, and yet he's in the cast, and he kind of complained to the regular day-to-day producers, and are like, hey, I have a couple lines in the middle where I'm helping out a passenger with some advice or whatever, but yeah, put me at the beginning, put me at the end. And they're like, well, you're just a bartender. Why would you be there? And he goes, how about making me the head bartender? So he went to Aaron Spelling, who became the producer, as we will learn in the third pilot. And he's like, make him the third, make him the lead, or make him the head bartender. Right. So there literally is a scene where Gavin MacLeod gives him the
don't spoil things. We're going to get to that.
Yeah, I know. Sorry,
but in this one, I thought it was cool because I know we're going to get to the Christy McNichol Diana thing.
Yeah.
But there's a scene where they're playing poker and the captain's like, "Oh, these guys, we all served together." He was my first lieutenant. Yeah.
Good backstory for the crew, including Amy and Sandy also show up to play.
Yeah, because they're playing poker. It's a scene where they're playing poker with the guys are playing poker, and I like that the guys are playing poker, and there's a knock at the door, and the captain and everybody, they're like, hold on, be quiet.
Oh, yeah.
We don't want to be found out that we're playing poker. And then there's a secret
in the marijuana.
Yeah.
Something like that, I'm sure.
Then there's a secret knock, and he's like, "Oh, okay, come on in, ladies," because he knew that they were coming. He's like, "Oh, okay, all right." So it's only the rest of the crew. It's fine, Yes. But don't answer if there's an emergency, and it's not the two ladies that we were expecting. Don't answer it because we don't want them to know we were playing poker.
Well,
then, you get this behind the scenes thing. Yeah,
little Christy is not going to take no for an answer, and she really needs Gopher to know that she's a real woman. So she goes down to the, I assume, beauty parlor in the boat, and I think she tells him, "Hey, give me the full whore, would you please?" Because here she is in
the big beehive haircut. Yeah,
serious makeup. I believe a fake birthmark on her face over her mouth, and either that or she is prepping for her future role opposite Tatum O'Neal in the teen camp comedy Little Darlings.
Something.
Who's going to lose their virginity first, Tatum O'Neal or Christy McNichol?
I think half the budget of the makeup budget on this movie was on the one scene with Christy McNichol there.
Oh, come on! Don't I look sophisticated? Sure you do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. I'm telling you, they dropped her off at the port, and a few sailors tried to pick her up, but it didn't work out. So, meanwhile, equally horny is Diane Canova, her sister, who really wants to hook up with one Bert Convy.
A couple different people on the boat, right?
And actually several others. But Bert only has eyes for Sandy. And
he doesn't. He wants to have all the eyes for Sandy, but he's leering at everything on the boat.
She keeps Sandy keeps rebuffing him, and he keeps noticing all the girls in the two pieces that are walking by the pool and things like that. And even rubs suntan lotion on Diane Canova's shoulders. And that's when Sandy gets a little jealous. Sandy's very fickle.
Yeah.
And I guess also Bert is Sandy's accountant. And that's how they know each other.
Yeah.
So I'll do your
And if you watch this, really take a look at his hair. I mean, Bert Convy's hair is just very static.
That's classic. That's classic Convy. He had the same look in.
Absolutely. But I'm saying, he had it was like a helmet. You could take it on and off, and perfectly preserved. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he died very young. He had
it was sad because he did that win, lose, or draw with Burt Reynolds. They were the co-producers of that show, and he was the host. Yeah, and of course, Password Plus. He took over for Alan Ludden. Though he did a lot of acting in the '60s and '70s, and I got to say, for being cheeseball celebrity, was competent. I wouldn't say he's, Olivier or going to get an Emmy.
You don't get these gigs and then get a hosting your own television game show, and then also at the same time being a guest on other celebrity game shows, because that's how famous he was.
Oh yeah, Tattletales, one of my favorites on Buzzer, where he's the host of that show. I'll admit, again, big cheese. Well, he's in Hero at Large with John Ritter.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the political manipulator that's taking advantage of the whole Captain Avenger thing. And wait a minute, we could use this to get the mayor reelected and everything. Yep. So it's again, he's had interesting roles over the years beyond the game shows and guesting on game shows. But so there's that. Then of course we have our other trio, and it starts with one Hope Lange from The Ghost of Mrs. Muir.
Yeah, and recognize her immediately. I'm like, oh my god, that's the lady from The Ghost of Mrs. Muir. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, she's on the cruise with Lyle Waggoner, whose wardrobe, it seems like, came from Gigolos R Us.
Yeah.
Or he raided his gay friend's closet. One of the two.
He was dressed more like a low rent Liberace. It had the lapels and the flare, but not all the bling.
Right. And again, that's very 70s kind of disco.
The collar itself, if you watch it in that first scene that he shows up in, that collar of the shirt that he has the wingspan of a 747. It's like
the lapels are made of Kelvar, so that if you were shot at, the lapels could deflect bullets as well.
They were just 40 inches too long, I think.
But so they're on a cruise, and you think, okay, fine, they're two single people. Well, no, Hope Lange actually is married to, ladies and gentlemen, Robert Reed.
Yeah,
and there he is there, Mr. Brady. Mm-hmm. Another connection. and she found out that Mr. Brady was cheating on her, and so this is a retaliation cruise with Jimmy Gigolo, as played by Lyle Waggoner, but
Yeah,
she's
it was her tennis instructor that she ran away with. And also another aside is these first two movies have a lot of white male froze. Like, Mr. Brady had like a perm, Don Adams, Mr. Cotter, like all these guys, Bert Convy, Lyle Waggoner was the only one with actual, regular hair, I guess, without it being curly.
It's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely true. So
the perm budget on these movies had to be out of control.
So Robert Reed finds out that Hope and doesn't realize it's Lyle. I don't even know if they actually confront each other.
No, but how does he find out? She leaves him a note saying that she's going away with another guy.
Okay.
So he finds the note. He came home early and found the note and jumps on the ship.
And he's been work. I don't have time for my wife. Work. But then this happens, so he chases her, and they have a serious moment and everything. And it seems like maybe they're not going to reconcile. And
no, but what happens is like she's like, this is why I came on the show. I found out about you cheating, and he goes, "Oh, you found out about that, huh?" He goes, "Yeah. How come only guys are allowed to do the hokey
do the nasty,
but women aren't,
Yeah.
And she goes, "You know what? I'm gonna go have my hokey pokey fun. I'll see you later." And she leaves him there, and I'm like, "Whoa, this is like, what is happening here?" And she goes back and she goes to bed. And she has the boom boom with Lyle Waggoner. She does it, and then the next morning they get together, and she's waving to a boat, and you think it's Mr. Brady, but no, on the boat leaving the ship is Lyle Waggoner. He's like, "Oh, I guess she just used me for my body, and
exactly.
I'm out of here."
Yeah. All right, now Lyle does the walk, the boat of shame, if you will.
And then she stays with Mr. Brady. And Mr. Brady and Mrs. Muir.
They make no sense. It's
right.
Like, wait a minute, what are you doing?
So Mr. Brady is like, wait a minute, you cheated on me, I cheated on you. It's fine. Let's just stay together. It'll be fine. Yeah.
Okay.
So everything's okay.
It's had the happy ending.
Yeah.
So essentially, do we leave anybody out of Love Boat 2?
We
didn't finish Ken Berry. Well, Ken Berry in the stand-up, he's like, "Hey, stop doing this. I'm fat, self-deprecating humor. I'm a psychiatrist. You're funnier than that. I've been watching you all cruise every show you do. You're better than this, and I'm kind of attracted to you. But sadly, my flight."
That big turning point in the first movie where you find out that Karen Valentine is pregnant. Dun, dun, dun. The big turning point in this movie is like, "Hey, I read The Sun Also Rises, and I can't rise."
My war wound
keeps
me from.
But I wasn't in the war, and I didn't have a wound. I
don't care if you're flaccid. I still love you. Essentially, is Carmen's message to Ken Berry, and he shaves off his cheeseball mustache, which did look bad.
Well, like when he first showed up, I'm like, wait, is Ken Berry is he wearing a fake mustache? Because it looked fake, and I'm like, oh, that's a weird choice, but I guess he was going with that. He wanted it to look different or whatever, but then you find out that she likes him better without it, so that's why he shakes it off.
Absolutely.
And there's a very funny scene where he's like, he has it like half shaved off, and he's trying to hide it from her. So I'm like, oh, so that was a fake mustache.
What are you doing with your face?
Yeah.
I'm hiding the fact that I shaved off half my mustache. Oh, you're crazy. How's the dick situation in the meantime? Mm-hmm. Hey, they just invented a pill called Viagra. I think we're going to be okay.
I think ultimately, too, I like this one better. That's not saying much, because I like this one better than the first one,
sure.
than the first Love Boat movie. I like the captain better, too.
It's funny. I forgot that he was in soap operas. You're right, man. He was more recognizable.
Yeah,
and a little nicer.
But he was a little bit nicer, and he was a little bit more, I don't know, of an actor, I guess, than the first guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder if the first captain went back to Australia and continued to make more Australian TV and movies.
He made more Love Boat movies, but none of them were filmed.
None of them were actually filmed.
Yeah, he just did a bunch of them just for. I can do this.
I'm re-looking to see if they have any of his credits.
But one thing is for certain, things move very fast on the Love Boat. If you're not ready for it, if you're not looking for love, it's going to happen, and it's going to happen fast. So
Ted Hamilton only had 16 acting credits. So, and 13 of them, according to IMDb, is himself. So clearly they were probably like behind the scenes things and stuff like that, I assume. But regardless, so again, these two captains will go by the wayside. Those two cruise directors will go by they'll be sent overboard.
You know, one of the things I forgot during the Ken Berry story, when there's a point where he has a conflict with the girl, Candace, Amy, and she walks away, and then he's left there. I think it was a scene, and then they show him walking, and there's some random guy painting the railing, like on the deck, and they talked about it being early in the morning, but is that what actually happens on cruise ships? Do you have, like, I know you have a maintenance department, but do you have someone painting the thing? Doesn't that go into dry dock when you do that? Like, when people aren't on the ship?
Maybe somebody spilled their Mai Tai. By the way, those are a couple great outdoor scenes. And I forgot to also mention that we, let's see, do I have it loaded? I think I do. Where is it? Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. That was a daytime scene on the poop deck. There you go.
Love on the poop deck. But
Love on the poop deck. And then for the night, because we know as we go on, we will have nighttime scenes on the poop deck. So.
That's right. Nighttime scenes on the poop deck. But
yeah, we'll have your poop deck scenes covered.
Maybe somebody
portions of the boat covered as well.
Somebody pooped on the deck, and that's what that guy was painting over or something.
That area is literally called the poop deck. We're not sure why.
Yeah.
But I just felt it was important to put an outhouse on the poop decks in case you really got to go.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, what are you going to do? Drop trow and go on the side? Hey, what's happening up there? Is that rain?
It's okay. If you do, we have maintenance people that will take care of it. They'll paint over everything. We have 30 gallons of whitewash in the back. It'll be fine.
Now we got a brown spot you got to take care of on the poop deck. I'm on it.
Because that made me think, like, there's some random guy just painting, like, in overalls.
Maybe it's the Italian guy from the first movie. He had to switch uniforms to paint the poop deck. I don't know.
And no, it was a completely different guy. And if I remember correctly, although maybe not, completely different race as well. So maybe not.
Well, it might be time now because at that point everybody disembarks and has happy endings.
Right.
There are not
those kind of happy endings.
Exactly. Not the kind that you spend $20 on for extra. No. But here, let's see. Do I have it? Yes. So as we said in the theme song,
also, before we get there, the Christy McNichol and the sister, because she hooks up with the doctor, at the end. But my question is, why were those two sisters on the ship by themselves? Like, I guess she took her little sister on it, but she couldn't have been more than 18, 19 years old, the older sister.
Yeah.
I think at one point she even said that she was 19. I can't remember if that was true or not, but or if that actually happened or I imagined it. But I'm like, can she afford a cruise and can she bring her little sister along with her? Did the kids ride free?
Maybe the parents died and they got the insurance money and they're blowing it on.
A backstory would have been nice instead of her trying.
Well, again, that's much like some of the other moments that we needed backstory in the two movies. Indeed.
All right, sorry, again, I interrupted there, but
not at all. These are some of the flaws of Doug Kramer's attempt to do the Love Boat. Well, again, because of the failure, and we'll get to the final portion of discussing these two things. But essentially, they knew they were onto something, but it wasn't working. So Douglas Kramer was very smart, and he partnered up with the great Aaron Spelling. And Aaron Spelling at this time had Charlie's Angels and Starsky and Hutch and a lot of hit TV shows in the 60s and 70s. He was ironically prepping Fantasy Island when he was approached to come onto the Love Boat. So he was already also working in this anthology format. Should we continue and perhaps in the next decade want to do a Fantasy Island promo?
Well, before we get to that, we're gonna have to finish Love Boat, and then we're gonna have to finish Love Boat: The Next Wave.
Oh no. We are not doing the Bob Urich Next Wave. Even though there's only like 1 or 2 seasons of that. No.
Why not? It's come on.
But for people who want to follow along, and unfortunately, I don't even think the third pilot movie, which we will cover in our next episode, is part of like you can
The
go
regular series
you can go
run.
on
Yeah.
you can go on Pluto, and you can go on Apple, and you can go
Paramount,
on Plus.
Paramount
But
Plus has all of them.
on Pluto, they don't have seasons 3 and 4 they only have 7 of the 9 seasons. But the other places they have all 9 seasons. And again, they were canceled after 9, but there was a 10th season of TV movies, but I can't find those.
We're only going to go for the 9.
Yeah,
that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah. And God, we're not even going to see little Vicky until season 3. So that's like 40. I know that's like 40.
Now you're just spoiling things for everybody.
I know. Well, it's on TV. Of course, it's also on MeTV every day. But yeah, so some harbingers of things to come in the weeks and months ahead, if not years ahead, because we got 249 episodes to get through. That's a lot, man.
I would watch these things as a kid all the time.
Yeah.
And then when they got into reruns, I would just like have them on just as a nostalgia thing. So these are such bad stories and bad love stories and, emotion here, there, all over the place. I love them. I love this old TV stuff.
They're ridiculous. They're sappy, happy ending stories. Mm-hmm. And again, you will see in the third pilot, that's where Gavin MacLeod comes in. That's where Lauren Toos comes in. And there's even a laugh track, even though it is a TV movie, there is a laugh track for this. And it's listed as season 1, episode 0, this third pilot. And now they know what they're doing because spelling came in and it's like, hold on. Let's make these a little more sappy, a little faster.
Nobody's going to have a fro except Isaac. We're going to.
I don't think that's true. I do think there will still be froze, especially in these early seasons.
We're going to get rid of these. We're going to cross cut things, so it's not just one story and ending.
We're not gonna have the. We're not gonna focus on the ship entertainment like we had in the first movie and the second movie. Mm-hmm. So they tweak, and also we don't need to see the bridge every 5 minutes or whatever, But yeah, and also the cruise, the crew will be more involved with the passenger stories and stuff. Right. And you'll definitely see that. So, all right. Well, we were talking about drama meme, and that you kind of need that motion sickness medicine to kind of get through some of these stories. Do you have any candidates for the first 2 movies for drama meme?
So we haven't really figured out the whole drama meme thing. Like it's 1 drama meme is bad and 4 is good, whatever. But if we're going for good things, are we going to start with the first one, the second one, or just wherever?
Well, I mean, just random for now, because again, we have so many storylines. And honestly, I would say the really pathetic ones, you need 4 drama memes to get through. You want no drama memes.
No drama memes. So if I'm going for no drama meme, the best thing in either of these movies is Lyle Waggoner's bell bottoms and lapels. That is by far the best thing. Like he shows up in that first scene, and I'm like, "What the hell is on his pants?" Is the bottom half of his calves are covered by 3/4 of the material of all his pants, and then the lapels are like so big. I went over that before, so that's the best thing is his outfit on here, fair. And that's not a good shot either. The one he's showing up here, but go see it. But I think the other good thing about the first movie was little Scott Baio cousin shooting Harvey Korman with a pea shooter. It was the other good thing. And then there's a point we forgot to mention. There's a point on that first movie where he sneaks onto the bridge and he hits the alarm and they're going off all over the ship. And everybody's like, should we be concerned about that?
That's right.
Is the ship on fire?
Yeah, he's a massive brat. He's a massive brat. But
and the captain's like, get this kid off my bridge. But nobody else seems to care. Oh, it's just a kid.
Well, and I actually, so his mother can't control him either. And at one point he goes missing on the ship. And of all people, he befriends Tom Bosley.
And he's playing poker with him.
Yes.
In the stateroom in the dark, way back.
So that would be one of my no drama meme. Like that you can tolerate those scenes with him and Tom Bosley. Right. Without getting sick to your stomach. And then I'd also say for romance stuff, I would say in the second movie, Diane Cannon's storyline of her just being horny and wanting to hook up with people. It's like, all right, that's kind of classic Love Boat. Fine.
So, out of all the stories over the 2 Love Boat movies, I think the story that you would need the 4 drama memes for would be the Maxwell Smart, Mrs. Brady storyline for me.
I would agree.
I think
absolutely. But even the attempt at serious drama with Celeste Holmes and Peter Gunn, Craig Stevens, it's like, oh, but he's blind. And it's like, okay. Yeah. All right, whatever.
They were really, really trying to pull at the heartstrings, but they were trying to find your heartstrings because they didn't know where they were.
Right.
So it was
then
performing open heart surgery, trying to find your heartstrings.
Dare I say, perhaps 5 drama means to get through Christy McNichol as a whore, as young 12-year-old whore trying to get Gopher. Come on,
because that
don't I look hot, Gopher? No, you don't. Get away
at the end when she says goodbye to Gopher, she's like, "Oh, I'll come back in 5 years. I'm only 14, and you're in 5
26.
years I'll come back. I'll be 17, and you'll be 24 or 27 or whatever."
Whatever the math.
I'm like, wait a minute, how old?
They're not inappropriate.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. So this is not. Yeah.
No, she did not give up her horn dogness. Yeah, I'll be back in 5 years. Exactly. It's like, I think you're still jailbait at that point.
But 5 seasons down, she should have showed up again in one of the regular episodes.
Now I'm a woman, Gopher.
Yeah.
I'm on Empty Nest with Richard Mulligan. I forget who played her sister on Empty Nest.
That was the girl. I know that girl.
Yeah, it is another famous actress. Yeah.
Well, not that famous, but
she
was in a couple of things. Yeah,
I was going to say in that sitcom way. Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the good news is, as we progress, and especially this first season is littered with so many great guest stars. I'm very excited, and so I really went from, all right, let's cherry pick our craziest episodes to Gabe Hardman convinced me, like, oh no, you got to do the whole thing. He's like, John, think of all these guest stars. He's like, you love when Charlie Callis or Ruth Buzzy or Rip Taylor show up on the Love Boat. I'm like, yeah, you're right. All right,
yeah,
we're doing it.
And we plan to have guest stars on with us because the Love Boat is full of guest stars. So we want to have guest stars on this show, but we thought it would be very inhumane to put them through watching these first 2 movies. So we thought we would do these alone. Yeah. So
we're getting our proverbial sea legs as well as we discuss these episodes. So yeah, that's about it. Look forward to more, and on our next episode, we will cover when the crew finally comes together in the 3rd pilot movie. Gavin MacLeod as the new captain. They really don't explain Lauren Tews, but she's just the new cruise director replacing Sandy, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So all right, we'll disembark. I believe we've reached the mainland. We'll have mainland news for what was happening in pop culture as we move forward. And that was the point of having Meanwhile on the mainland. So while they were out to sea, we'll talk about what the popular songs might have been those weeks and stuff on the charts, if there were any big entertainment stories and things like that.
But first episode, 2 movies, we just cover those for now.
Yeah. So, but fear not. In fact, the likelihood is on the feed, there will already be the 3rd pilot and maybe even the first episode to kind of get everybody in the swing of what we're doing, because we didn't want to just leave this out naked, much like a Lyle Waggoner in bed. Nobody needs
that's right.
Or Gabe Kaplan. By the way,
I changed my best scene in the movie to his clothes to when he's in bed without clothes. That's what I changed it to.
And another Dramamine thing is Gabe Kaplan and the model and Banaka's whole storyline. That you need 4 Dramamines to get through, clearly. Look, I don't have my shirt on. I love you. We're in my tiny cot in my room. I love you too. Frightening.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. We've hit the mainland. We will have another cruise. Both pilot movies, by the way. They even say that they're going to Acapulco in both the credits, in the opening credits, for better or for worse. So, All right, until the next cruise, your co-captains, Franco and Johnny, saying thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.